Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic day and continue to do so. That would be very good. Good morning and all that stuff. Teamwork makes the dream work, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. This is pretty cool, this game, actually. It's one of those spontaneous teamwork games. And some of it approached kind of looking like maybe perhaps a little bit like an organized match. I'm not going to say the whole thing looked like that, but you rarely get in pub matches any kind of long-term or sustained teamwork. And rarely do you feel like you're really in tune. You might get a localized in tune with somebody for a few potatoes, but pretty quickly everyone's off on their own agenda and doing their own things. But this actually worked out pretty well. I was hiding the tank. One of the reasons I also wanted to show you this is a relatively slow tank and moving around quite a bit of the map with this thing. So we'll take a look at this. We got a Tier 9 and Tier 8 battle. I'm not platooned with anybody. I am in pretty serious tryhard mode with purple equipment, and I've actually got a bounty turbo on this thing to try to get a little more speed to get around. What I'm trying to do still is get that critical mission done. The closest I've come so far is 17 out of 25. That's for the regular. That's not even with honors. At battle 9. And I considered going for it. That wasn't this battle, but I considered going for it. And I said, you know what? If I get 6 or 7 and come up short on the 10th battle, and I wasted that 6 or 7, which could have been a really great start on a more comfortable and valid run at it, I'd be really upset. Turns out it didn't matter. I got 1. So wouldn't have mattered either way, but I've reset it recently, and we're still not close. We are still not close. But I was still trying it here. You'll see that I have changed out my loadout a little bit. 14 regular, 16 APCR, and 20 HESH. So I'm using a lot more of the APCR. Things I've learned that I think I probably knew in the past but never really thought about. Deadeye is a good perk to have because it increases your chances of getting crits. And what I did not know is I guess HE doesn't have really an increased capability for crits. So the APCR is working out nicely in terms of that, using the Deadeye skill to have a slightly better chance of critting. But let's get started, because this one's not really about the critting. This one is about, and we'll just kind of fast forward here, because I am taking my sweet child of mine time headed over to the factory. So I considered going south, and I thought, well, let's go to the factory. Maybe we can get more of a static fight at the factory, and I'll get a lot of shots downrange on this. Also, too, and in addition to, the tumor on this tank is over on that right side there, which means if I can just expose my left side, I'll improve my armor profile, potentially. At least make it more difficult for them to shoot that hatch. What happens here is quite interesting. So we have a good push down to the south, couple guys camping, the charge not really doing much of anything. We've got a Leopard sniping, 703 version 2 and myself. Looks like I got lit by the Kunze-Panzer in there. Only one guy really went north, so all I'm really looking for here, fellas, is I'm just trying to get crits. So we'll just come out here and put a shot on him, and we'll screen not penetrate, but we get the bounce. That's nice. He's not shooting gold yet anyway. We're going to try to shoot one into the hatch, and that's a HESH. So that's the idea of using the HESH round to go after weak spots. Frontal armor is going to, especially the turret's going to be difficult to pen. So I'm trying to get one of those, crit kills on a commander or gunner or something through the hatch right there. 703 goes over to my left. Now the T95 moves up. All right, so this was kind of my first indication that maybe this guy is going to help a bit. He didn't come over here and start crowding me. He went to the other side, and maybe between the two of us, we can really start putting a hurting on their guys here in the factory. But what I'm also noticing is only the 703 has showed up. They do have a T30, an ISU, and a TS5. Neither one of those has really showed up yet. So I'm already sort of starting to think, all right, this is interesting. Could we maybe push here, potentially? Let's wait. It's a little early. But then the T95 comes in here and goes hold down. And I thought, oh, that's a really nice little spot. Of course, his hatches are exposed, but lower plate not at all. And we got this guy coming around. We'll try to stick another one in there, and we get a... I didn't do 750. That was a combo roll between myself and the T95 right there. So I can take another stab at getting a crit. And I didn't look at what I started with. I'm on 3 right now. I don't remember if that's 3 in this battle or what, but we'll kind of pay attention to that as we go. So the IS-3 is there, and I say, you know what? Hey, T95, what do you think, man? let's just push. Now, I do this a lot. I like to be aggressive. I like to be the guy pushing in and try to force the fight to the purple side, to the red side. I don't always get support. In fact, more often than not, I do not get support. But we'll kind of watch what happens right here. We get this guy sort of moving around. Another guy down and below there. Maybe shoot him. Can't quite see him. And, oh, look at this. The 703 version 2 is here. We got stuff in the way. Kind of need that stuff knocked down because it's really in the way. There we go. So we got these dudes over here. We'll just hit him. That's nice. All right, we do have a Kunze-Panzer. He has... There's actually 2 of them. Is there 2 Kunze-Panzers? What is happening here? Nope, just 1. Well, he was last spotted up on the hill, but he's obviously repositioned. We hit him a couple times. That's good. We're not really getting threatened by anybody in here in the factory. We'll just take another stab. That missed. And then I turn around and go, all right, what's going on here? Oh, look at the T-95. A little bit of a bounce off from the 703. That's nice. And I see the T-95 going in, and I'm like, all right, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's get in there and help him. Oh, by the way, I haven't seen him getting shredded, losing 750 hit points from maybe, say, the T-30 or one of the ISU or something sitting back on these tracks. And I can see our mediums moving through in the north, if you look at that. Actually, somebody talked about wanting the mini-map slightly larger. We'll do that. You can see the Kunze-Panzer was spotted there. Now he's probably down here based on the direction of the shot. We're going to come in here. There he is. So he's repositioned to the middle again. We got this guy moving around. Unfortunately, I'm shooting my Hesh, which is not what I wanted right there. And I guess I'm still doing it like a Muppet. What did I get? 3 hit points there? Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That's just me not paying very good attention. All right, so it went okay in the factory. We got some hit points down the south, but they really invested in the south. The ease with which we won this is the reason that we pretty much lost the south. Even though we sent a decent amount of tanks down there, they all died to a better force. Nobody's up here. We have a Leopard, 274 Alpha, T-95, the 703-2, and me all up here in the north, and we really only fought, what, 2 guys, to be quite honest. And that's it, 2 guys. And the other one ran away. So we had a huge overmatch. Great, we made it happen. We have an advantage here now, but we definitely paid for it down the south, and overall we're losing pretty badly, 4-6. In terms of tanks, not badly, but we are definitely losing. I don't know if that hit point difference is valid or not because I don't know. I'm not in contact with all the stuff going on in the south, but I'm pretty sure that heavy's about to die. So instead of pushing, I'm backing out. And the T-26E5 says push C and B line. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. I think you guys know exactly what I'm going to say here. So we won our flank, but there's no reason to push into the campers that may be there because that's going to bog us down. In addition to that, we have a serious problem at our cap. So even if we were with these 4 or 5 tanks to push onto their cap, they have an easier time to get back to us. They can also probably threaten our cap better than we can. Their positioning is just better, and they have faster tanks. So we're going to back out of this thing. And we'll see the 274 Alphas going. Look at the T-95. He's already on his way, man. He's already on his way. So nice kind of organic teamwork. Just started up here in the factory. We cleared it out, and the T-95 starts moving early. Good on the T-95. Name of Equay7 from Clan 6's. Shout out to him and that clan. Fantastic work right here, T-95. He knows he's slow, and he starts moving early, and now here I come. So we're going to head back this way. We do even it up a little bit. It's 7-7. You can see that the Kunze and the Char Futura are already back here. The Leopard is repositioned as well. And now we'll just move back here. T-95 is looking for a shot. And this was the part I loved about it. Now look at the guy that said push the CD line or BC line. The silly object. He's the only guy there. Everybody else. Now, 703 and the Leopard are sniping and sitting here, but that's fine. That's a good support position for supporting the cap and the guys shooting across to the middle. Plus, it's defensible for those two, so no worries. I would have liked the Leopard PTA to use his mobility and go somewhere else, but good sniping gun. He's going to do some good work for us, and we're going to head over here. Let's see if we can give you a little view. So that's what's going on the mini-map down there in the south, and we're starting to build an advantage. T-95 moves to the middle. I'm going to go back here to this back row because I don't know what this push is going to look like. I'm starting to sense that it's not going to be much because the Char Footer and the Kunza are doing a nice job. Plus the T95 now has that gun in the game. And here comes the Tortoise gun. And I'll just push along this row. This is talking a lot about right here, or showing you the idea of your approach matters. I could have just driven across the open like the T95 got seen, but there was no real reason for that. We'll just go ahead and shoot this dude. Critical hit, but I did pin him down. At least I think I did. Well, he fixed it either way. I'm still shooting Hesh like a Muppet. I did not realize I shot so much Hesh like a big goober right here. So, not great. That should have been APCR. That's probably one reason why I did not penetrate. Blapping Hesh at the side of tanks is going to get you shots into tracks more often than not. You can see the T-26 is telling the object 274 Alpha. Actually, I believe it was a T-76 that said push. But in any event, the object is still sitting there, and the T-26 says, hey, why don't you get out? Look at this train, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. The entire team, student body right, headed south, all together. Big TDs coming in to back them up. And this is still anyone's game, really. I mean, they've still got a T-30 and some good mediums there. They've got an Arty. We have a couple extra tanks, so that's to our advantage. The Udez sort of loses his mind. I'm not really sure if maybe he didn't think there was much here. I really think that this move probably surprised him a little bit, although they knew the T-95 would come back because they shot him with an Arty. But look at this just swarm. Everybody coming in together. Everyone coming in. This is just fantastic. So we have the Udez sitting right there. Let's try to get a shot on him. Missed him. Terrible shot. Kind of came up short on the T-95. Wasn't really trying to spoil anything there, but you got to watch that when you're trailing behind somebody on a push. Not a lot you could do to help it. Counter-attack. Look at the ELC even 90. He's calling it, and that's exactly what we're doing right here. So I see the 703. Look at him. We're going. The Char is following up the armor. You got to love that. Come over here and try to find this guy. Armor not hit. Bummer. But anyway, he gets gunned down. We find their Arty in here. Poor dude. He's like, oh, what has just happened? I'm still spamming Hesh. I guess I just completely lost my mind right here. But this is really doesn't have a whole lot to do with how well I played on this one, because I am being serviceable at best. It's really just this whole team push. You got to love this, man. The whole team coming back together. The Kunza on the enemy team, on the other hand, did a nice job kind of standing back and sniping, but not really getting with the team, right? And the rest of this team is sort of spread out, as you would expect from the usual pub match thing. But this is just freaking awesome, man. The whole team together, just pushing in one direction. The Kunza is just bailing out, thinking, holy crap, I got to get out of here. You got to love this. Find the 703, too. He's just sitting behind all this stuff, and I'm still shooting Hesh. My goodness. I did not realize how much ridiculous Hesh I fired in this game. I would have had a bunch more damage if I wouldn't have been doing that. That's pretty funny. Now, I am known for pressing gold and shooting it all, or kind of forgetting that I have HE loaded up, but I don't usually go this far. Although this may have still been while I was thinking potentially Hesh was going to get me more crits. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think this was past that point, so it's just buffoonery. Just take a stab at him. This guy dies. Now think about how that game went, man. Watch for him to die. We want to get the win, right? Let's see the victory. There we go. There's the victory. Think about how that game went. Minimize the map again a little bit. They sent nobody north but the Kunza. We sent a decent force into the factory, as you might expect. Slow TDs. That's a place you would potentially put a slow armored TD like we had. T-95 and Alert and a Tortoise. So that seemed like a reasonable move. We had one guy up north or two or so, and that's fine. Take a peek, see what's going on. They only sent one. They sent a couple heavies here, and then everything else they sent was down in the south. And that is usually a recipe for a good game. Because what happened is they gobbled up our guys. They had an overmatch, and they gobbled them all up. And generally, you're in big trouble. Because what typically happens in that case is the guys down south, some will come back and move to the middle or come up to the middle, and some will sit here and snipe down here in the south. But rarely does the enemy team, us in this case, bring everybody from the other flank back to defend and then counterattack like that. That was a very obvious kind of organized counterattack that just happened spontaneously, but that's exactly what that looked like. And that's how you defeat that kind of tactic from the enemy team. But of course, it's a pub match, so it's almost never that clean or that obvious. But I thought that was really great. So shout out to all these guys that are still alive. Jeep Aburia, and I don't know if these are anonymous. They could be. Ragnar, if they have a clan, they're not. From Moten. Dark, Lephius, Equa, Sisek, and Locos, Lobos, and the rest of the guys who did their best as well down there. Very cool, man. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys liked that replay. I thought that was a lot of fun as I was watching it go. And, of course, you got to see me spam Hesh like a Muppet and do 50 points of damage at a time up to 1,914. To be quite honest, because of my Muppetry in that, we would have shut him down faster because I'd have been dropping 400 hit point shots on people instead of 50. So that was poor on my part. I actually contributed to this being a little bit closer than it probably could have been. All right, that's all I've got. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any examples of great teamwork that just spontaneously happens, it is not very common, kind of few and far between, but it is fun when it happens. And like I said in the opening, it tends to be more localized in a local fight, and then it sort of dissipates. This one just kept going and going, and as it was happening while I was doing it, I was just laughing. That may have been part of why I just got distracted on the damage. It was so interesting watching everybody kind of just mind meld and do the same thing. That is all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you.